Hello, Ray Phoenix here. Welcome to Let's Play Simpsons Hit and Run, the Gru mod, part 6. We're gonna meet another one of us, another minion, the one-eyed minion right there.
This is terrible. A very bad man is
Talking about how that Cletus guy we helped in the last level is going against his business. Because, you know, the one-eyed minion's like one that runs the Quickie Mart. We always knew there were different minions. We don't know. It's quite impressive they put that kind of detail. Not all minions look the same. They actually do have quite a few differences to... I remember seeing that when I first saw Minions. I remember I first saw what Minions looked like when I first heard of Despicable Me. When I first heard of Despicable Me in the summer of 2009 when I saw an ad for it at a movie theater somewhere. I even saw the trailer for it too, where that kid goes to Egypt and they find out that the pyramids were stolen. And then I remember seeing they had like a huge a display piece there that had like sculptures there of the different minions of Despicable Me coming out, which at the time I was like a year in the future, thinking, whoa, I have to wait a year for that. But of course, I wasn't really thinking much about that at the time. I was thinking more about Toy Story 3, because I first heard of Toy Story 3 around that time too. And then it's like, that's more than a year from now, and they advertised the exact date it was released, June 18th, 2010. And I got to see that movie on that very date, Toy Story 3, when it first came out. Despicable Me, I got to see months later. And then months after that, I got to see Megamind, a movie that was considered like a copycat movie of Despicable Me. They both have similar premises, and they came out the same year, 2010. A pretty magical year for movies. Also, in the last years, I was ever into those kind of movies. You know, I don't know, those kinds of animated kids movies didn't really feel the same much after 2010. I mean, Despicable Me is the only real good movie I've ever seen from Illumination, and none of their other movies they made since then were ever as good. I remember watching Hop and thinking how god-awful it was, and there's a Lorax, which is also pretty sucky as well, too. I don't really like much of their other movies, except for that Minions movie from 2015. Other than that, I don't really like as much of their movies after the first one. And there we got caught, and I think that was the first time I ever had to pay a 50-cent fine for getting caught from the police, and we could jump out of the large whatever that battleship thing is supposed to be. So we go to Professor Frink's observatory, and Professor Frink is pretty much going to tell us, like, well, yeah, he was just working for me a second ago, and now he's gone. He's not really going to give us any useful advice, I don't think. It's pretty cool they made his lab like an actual place you could walk into. You could actually play around those gadgets you can see in the background. Look, there's a Frinky Act 7 in the background. It's a teleporter thing with a monkey in it. A team of highly trained monkeys have been dispatched to deal with this problem. Remember that old area you used to see on YouTube and Google? My mom thought it was something that was written by a hacker, but I think it's something that was actually official, something that actually looks like an official type of area you'd see on YouTube. And look, if you could look for this telescope and we could see the space and the planets and aliens and stuff like that. And you can see the nebulae and the galaxy there. It reminds me when I used to go stargazing a lot. I really like going stargazing. I remember back in 1999 when I would go out on my front porch and then use binoculars and look up at the sky and look at the stars and see all kinds of bizarre stuff that could be going on light years away from where we are right now. And to know it was all in the past, too. That's even up with another layer of complexity to the beauty and the mystery behind looking up at the sky. We're still trying to figure out what happened to Bart, but we think Grandpa might know something about what happened to Bart. And all we know is that that his hat was found, and that Grandpa apparently thinks that these people in the black sedans have something to do with Bart. I destroyed the black sedans to find a clue about this Bart thing, this whole thing about where is Bart? Where did Bart go? Mysteries of Bart. That's correct. We're doing in this level. This whole level's all about the search for Bart. What happened to Bart? And it involves us driving around in cars and smashing stuff and destroying stuff. What else do we do in this game? Just walk around. I also made a video about can you beat every mission in Simpsons Hit and Run without using any cars, just by walking on feet? No, that's kind of impossible. So that's like saying, can you beat Ratchet and Clank without using any weapons, including the wrench? I think it's also kind of impossible. Kind of all like that other challenge someone mentioned too, where it's like, oh, can you play Capcom's 1942 without firing a single shot? No, I think that's kind of impossible. It's gonna make us drive to the Aztec Theater, I think. I think it's supposed to be like a parody of that Chinese movie theater or something like that. And then it's gonna be another sedan waiting for us, so we can just know where he is. We can attack him head on. in our and of course we're using our because normally in this level you would have been required to go to Camp Krusty and buy the school bus from Otto, but of course we're not doing that because it's impossible to do that in this mod. So we're just gonna use the Electorus, the best car we have. The Electorus, look at that, hit him head on, took out nearly a third of his health. Smash test up too, I think it did more against him than it did to us. This Electorus is surprisingly strong. This car actually could take a beating. It's almost like a Timex watch. It could really take a licking but keep on ticking. I don't even know that stuff in the trunk, so it's probably the electric power supply or something. This is supposed to be an electric powered car. So it makes sense. It would have like a power plug in it so you could recharge it. Already starting to smoke. There's smoke coming off everywhere. And Gru says like, oh, I can't see from all the smoke. It's almost like they knew there. It was almost like he knew exactly what it was like to drive in this game. It's like Gru was made for this game pretty much. Sometimes I think the secret intention of Despicable Me all along was to make the whole movie series was made just so we could become a character in the Simpsons hit and run. So people would, actually recognize it more now, because if Despicable Me didn't exist, we wouldn't even know what any of these characters were, what these characters are supposed to be. These minions. Some people also said they reminded them of Mech Tools from the Mega Man series. I mean, Mech Tools has a reputation for being like the Goombas of the Mega Man. These are kind of like Gru's versions. Because we have Gru has like hundreds of different minions, and only a few of them actually are like main characters, or somewhat of main characters. Your car is horribly destroyed. I'll go fix that off screen. It's really easy to fix cars in this game. Just find a wrench floating somewhere, and you can pretty much, completely heal your car that way. Or if your car gets completely destroyed, you just go to a phone booth and pay. I think it's 50 coins to fix it. It doesn't really matter much for us. We're getting so many coins that 50 coins is nothing for us. We just make we make like more than 50 coins like it's nothing just by driving down the street and committing like 50 felonies per blink of the eye. We're going to be following against Snake, of course. We're supposed to be doing this for Chief Wiggum, while Chief Wiggum is riding in this car apparently with Gru and everyone else. Yeah, because Gru has to drive everyone around, even Chief Wiggum. That'd be an awesome crossover, Gru and Chief Wiggum. It's the Wiggum time. I Wigger realistically get as fast as he gets back up. This car could go back up at some pretty fast speeds too. Imagine racing in NASCAR backing up. Oh wait, I remember. I think Will Ferrell did that in some movie once. Imagine racing in Formula 1 backwards. So we found all those things those clues, those evidence we could use against Snake, and then he's going to tell us something about Bart, what he knows about where Bart last was. That's a lot of dedication on Lisa's part, that Lisa is going for all this trouble or actually that minion we're playing as is going for all this trouble is to find the other minion. All the minions all look exactly the same, and yet this one is going on to extreme efforts just to find one other of its kind. Like, goes to show how those minions really care about each other, and they're all family, just like the Simpsons. Like, the Simpsons like that too, they all seem to care about one another. And the parents don't seem to be doing anything either, so much in fact they had to let their daughter, Lisa, just get out here and drive around in a car and then try to find them. You think the parents would be doing something too. There'd be like so many search efforts going on, especially if they think it was aliens involved, alien abduction. I'm gonna go meet this sea captain guy, because we're at like the docks right now, the Springfield Harbor docks, where there's like probably good fish and chips places around here. Yeah, this is always giving me a craving for fish and chips. Just gonna say where he thinks Bart was, or is, or someplace like that.
What favor?
I've got a shipment here of light.
And I think first we're gonna be doing a mission where we're gonna have to be collecting fish.
In the Squidport.
Those poor
Yeah, I think Lisa's concerned about fish, or this minion we're playing as is always concerned about fish, because fish are animals too, and they don't deserve to be eaten. And they're free-eyed fish because of Mr. Burns contaminating the lakes in Springfield. All the fish have free eyes. Remember they brought that up in that episode of Simpsons when Mr. Burns ran an election campaign? And they had to close all the bars so it wouldn't influence people's votes. I wonder if that's a thing in real life where they actually close bars on election days to so people don't influence people's votes. Not really caring out of my police meter. I'm just driving as fast as I can. And then the music's gonna drastically change when we drive through the Duff Depot and it plays, I don't really know what you call that kind of music. It's not really that great. It actually sounds kind of irritating, like bagpipes music. I'm just trying to navigate around this road. Good thing they put like zero indicators on the road, so that way we know where we're going. And the traffic's supposed to be slowing us down. We're driving pretty well. This Electros is still working wonders in all these levels. I really need to try the vanilla game sometime. Try playing the whole game with the Electros and the vanilla game and see if it's any better. And make it even more interesting too. I still have my GameCube copy of this game that I got for Christmas back in 2006. I might play it on that too. There's no way any modding could have possibly have been done. So I'm going to be playing it on the real McCoy, the real GameCube. And I still have my black GameCube too, where I somewhat recently got the SpongeBob movie game for that system. I found it at a thrift store for only $2. It was $2 and someone put a disc of Mario Party 7 in it too. So I got 2 GameCube games for $2 and one of them was Mario Party 7. And I thought, ooh, this is awesome. Then I play it for a bit and it's like, yeah, this game is fine, but it's not something I'd pay a lot for. I'm probably going to sell it at some point in the future. We actually got the SpongeBob movie game. It's a surprisingly good game. Most people wouldn't expect a game based on a SpongeBob movie to be any good, but it was pretty good actually. I actually played it quite a bit. It's a pretty decent platformer actually. I think it runs the same game engine that SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom ran on. I like the Simpsons movie game. The Simpsons movie were to have a real video game. I think they should have made it based somewhat on this, or even that Simpsons game from 2007 should have been more like this. Would have been better. I remember, I think it was a Family Guy video game too. There was a Family Guy video game, but it's nothing like this. I remember a friend of mine was kind of disappointed because he thought it was going to be a driving game like this, where you get to play as Family Guy characters and drive cars and do stuff. But to his disappointment, you don't get to do that in the game. There's no driving at all. It's not like Simpsons Hit and Run or anything like that. The Family Guy game was kind of disappointing for a lot of people. A lot of fans of the show. Not even a fan of that. It wasn't that bad of a game. There's a lot of games I think that are way worse. I thought The Simpsons movie was a little bit overrated. I'm a big fan of The Simpsons. And then, yeah, I saw the Family Guy movie, Stewie Griffin, The Untold Story, and I was actually pleasantly pleased with it. I'm not even much of a Family Guy fan, and I was pleasantly pleased with it. I think now this is the final mission of level 3 we're going to now. The old Pyre in the Sea. Look, we're going to do some more destruction. This level doesn't even make us use the Mr. Plow. I mean, you could use the Mr. Plow, that's what I'd recommend if you're playing the vanilla game, or some mod that lets you use the Mr. Plow, but we don't get that. You could use a school bus too, but again, we don't have that either, so all we really have of us is to either use Gru's obnoxiously large car, or do what I'm doing right now, using the petty, weak Electros. Electros against a limo. What's the stronger car? Electros or a limo? Just gonna go smashy on this and destroy it and smack it. Look, it looks like there's, I can't tell who's driving it. Probably some unidentified limo driver. Maybe he knows where Bart went. Maybe he's an alien in disguise. Ooh, call the Men in Black. He's an alien in disguise. Both of our cars are smoking, but I think his is producing a little more smoke than mine. The color tone of his is much grayer than the color tone of mine. It's gonna keep hitting me and running me over and whatnot. I actually used to do speed runs, well, not really speed runs, but I used to do like speed tests of this game, where I would, like, with the GameCube version of this game, where I would take my timer on my stopwatch and I would actually time how long it takes me to get through each individual level of the game, each mission of the game, and I'd time how long it took me to get through each one. At the end, I'd compare all of them and see how long it took me to beat the whole game until I just still have some of those written somewhere. I haven't done that since like 2020 or so, but I still have them written down somewhere. I should start archiving so I try it again and see if I could. I've done some 100% runs of this game, but I'm not really interested in doing 100% runs anymore. Those are becoming overrated. I'd rather just do like this Electros run, kind of doing of this version of the game. See how it adds up. I bet someone has already done that before. I mean, I know how popular of a car the Electros is. I'm a big fan of the Electros. I don't think a lot of other people play this game or are fans of it. Actually, it's surprisingly fast. That's why I think the mod of this game somehow made it fast. Now we're gonna go see the sea captain again. He's gonna tell us. We're gonna tell us that, oh look, Bart or the other minion I mentioned died somehow in the crash. It's like, oh no, he's not dead. He's still alive somewhere. I think he's on the sea spanker over there.
and he boarded that ship.
Which advertises, proudly advertises for Globex, if Globex. Like Hank Scorpio, whatever his name was, and Globex probably has something to do with it. There's a Globex supervillain car in the vanilla game, of course, not in this game, obviously, because there aren't very many cars in this game, or in the one we're driving right now. Ads for Itchy and Scratchy and Buzz Cola. I wonder what it'd be like if Buzz Cola was a real drink. Maybe it is a real drink. I used to think Mr. Pibb was a fake drink, but apparently it's not. It's real, like White Castle. We found the guy, the minion that was being barred earlier. All he could do is speak gibberish, which is out of place since minions speak gibberish anyways. It's like, a boy, a boy, a boy, you know, a boy, a boy. Yeah, they talk like that. They're minions. They speak their own language. And it sounds like he's speaking that language right now, too. I guess it's perfectly fitting then that they're minions. Wants to get him a diaper, too. Because of, because I mentioned his pants were soiled in the newspaper. It's going to be coming up. It's going to mention that he crapped his pants when we saw. You gotta see, like, missing boy found safe behind erased pants soiled. We're going to be playing as another minion in the next part. This is Ray Phoenix, signing out.